Hi, today we are joined with Bruce as well as Ken. We're going to talk about some investment nuggets of wisdom from them, knowing that they are avid investors in the marketplace. We always often hear they are always buying some form of property. So today we're going to talk about a specific type of property, food factories, and why they have made certain choice when they come to selecting the property to invest in. So I think there's something quite special because occasionally there are properties, the opportunity to come about, and then buy, then you'll buy, sometimes some buy. So it's a rare opportunity that both of us actually ended up buying into the same development. So I think that's one of the main reasons why we come together and share a little bit in terms of why we basically made this kind of choice. And that's probably the interesting part we want to discover from two of you, right? There are so many options out there, so many investment types of property out there for you to invest in. But why do you choose this particular set of properties?
So I think why we invested in the food factory, one of the main thing was since 2013, we have observed a very flat line on the industrial market. So actually for almost, I think, a good 10 years, we've been waiting for the industrial market to actually come out of the draft that we are facing. So true enough, after COVID, we see it starting to pick up a bit. And that one actually shifted our attention to look at investment within industrial. We thought it was the right time to do it at then. Right there, of course, after looking at industrial, then you wanted something between demand and supply, right? High demand, rising demand with limited supply. Food factory actually was one of the very rare products that fits this criteria.
Oh, yeah. So personally, for me, I think it's slightly different because this is not my first investment in a food factory. So I actually had a unit previously in Admiralty Food Exchange. Okay. So one thing I personally experienced is that the rental demand always very consistent.
Right.
And I was also very fortunate because ended up selling it, never ever put it on the market. I had a random agent knock on my door, and then I thought it's one of those that waste my time. And really the guy says that, hey, there's somebody want to buy this, you're buying my unit from me. And I said, no, I'm not keen to sell, I get very good returns. I'll give you a price you cannot resist. I said, okay, fair enough. And he gave me a price that's about 30% above market. Wow. So if you actually go and see the caveats, you can see one unit on the 7th floor that really stand out. I saw down, that was my unit. Then later on I realized why. It's actually because the neighbor was the one that wanted the unit and expand. So anyway, but even having said that as well.
Oh, and Admiralty Exchange is a leasehold, right?
Yes, and that was a leasehold. So it's a 60-year leasehold. I was left with 40 years. The returns that we got from that kind of development was just insane. Too many good things to talk about. I think I can then maybe share some stuff and share my own views in terms of why this Foodnex is really one of the investment choices that stood out.
Yeah, I think CT Foodnex as a freehold tenure, like what Bruce mentioned, I realized food factories over the years age like fine wine. The longer you hold it, the better the value becomes.
Say something about yourself, right?
Hopefully. I'm not there yet. So I think they aged pretty well. And of course, like what Bruce said, he mentioned about having the non-ecosystem of industrial areas around. So with the government trying to create a food zone within the northern side of Singapore, and with Chiltern coming in with CT Foodnex as one of the first few food factories, now casually we are naming that Mandai area as a food zone already. Right, so there are a few more food factories that sprouted out. I mean, what makes CT Foodnex stand out in amongst the rest is because they are actually at the start of this entire food zone. When the trucks are coming in, you are first out. Naturally, it means a lot to tenants in future or end users where they save a lot of time.
Actually, one of the previous experiences also is another project that I also bought from Chiltern last time, was the one at Tagore. So you notice that the rental demand and even the prices is holding up. The highest holding power is actually the one that was facing the main road.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for industrialists, especially food, because when the big trucks are transporting all the ingredients and all, right?
Yeah.
So to keep the ingredients fresh, I think you are closest to the main road. That's always the best. That's one of the selling points for it.
When of course choosing to launch this project, then we looked at it and see to make sense from every aspect.
And it's freehold, right?
It's real.
Yeah.
Not just that. I think in terms we thought when we look at any business also, frontage is also very important.
Yeah,
true. So being able to be seen from the main road. Of course, today some people say, hey, Mandai, you're crazy, you're so far. But actually, it's not far because if we look at the master plan today, of course, Woodlands took a while. Today is very, very established, very vibrant. And if you believe in the government's master plan for population growth, which we all believe it, the unfortunate thing for us today, last time we believed in the plan, we can invest in residential. Today, totally different because ABSD, no choice. Yeah. But having said this as well, when there's more people, more food is needed, more restaurants option needed. Then today, with the behavioral change as well, you have cloud kitchen and so if the population increases, we don't talk about housing. The next thing people need is they need to make food. Yes. So this is where I think as investors, if we follow the trend, half the time you're dead. That means if you say that, hey, market already running, Bitcoin today running at what, 70,000. The jump in, is it maybe too late? Correct. But of course, if you see the trending is moving, or for us, we are projecting as well. Okay, look what's in it for the master plan, what's coming up, what are the news and things like that. And I think if you base it on that perspective, we are really as your favorite term, we are actually the first mover advantage for that area.
Yeah. So I think when you talk about master plan, it's something that we are all anticipating. I mean, the last master plan was 2019. We are supposed to see master plan this year, but I think government is getting public opinion on a lot of stuff. So we are expecting to see it released in 2025, which is next year.
That's right.
And our belief is that over the past few master plans that we're talking about, the Western area, JID, Jurong, we believe in the next master plan, we'll have a focus on the northern side. So that is where we are excited to see the next 10, 15 years, government starting to grow the North Coast Innovation Corridor that has somehow some R&D on the food zone that is created on the Woodlands area that links all the way to where Mandai is. So I think the ecosystem is going to be very helpful to the end users in the food factories next time because they can have a very nice support of the different related companies all around the area.
Right.
Yeah, so I think North is something that is interesting in the next few years to come.
And of course, you see the development of Tengah, right? That will also, when the population in Tengah increases, you see the number of dwellers there, that will also supply workers to the northern part. Because if you start a factory, you start a business, you definitely need to look for workers. That's right. So where does the worker come from? If they don't want to travel too far, either they come from maybe Malaysia, or if not, they come from Tengah or even Woodland side.
The beauty of that, there are actually a lot of dormitories all around. So in terms of, let's say, opening a business, you need to get a dorm for your workers and things like that. It's all just around largely a lot of dormitories in the area. So I think that's the catchment in terms of accommodation for workers readily available as well.
Yeah. In fact, one of the reasons also for Mandai area to grow into such a large extent like is because we are actually relatively near to where Woodlands checkpoint is. So your workers, where you have Malaysia workforce who are coming in and out on the daily basis, is actually pretty familiar for them. Sure. But riding on the food trend, we all know that after COVID, there was a very huge behavioral change that was mentioned. We saw that the revenue in restaurant front versus delivery revenue has actually taken an exchange in that.
That's right.
So delivery revenue has gone up a lot. And when we look at the new startups, a lot of people do not want to risk having a lot of staff costs, getting a shop front, create a brand, and then if the food don't work out, they have to change everything.
Right.
I think that's when people are starting their businesses on a smaller scale, going into cloud kitchens where they don't have that renovation needed. They test the food, they do delivery. If it fails, change the concept again. So I think this kind of concept is going to take off even more, which I think Food Factory offers that opportunity.
Yeah, and I guess the two of you who also runs your own respective F&B outlets, you will see this, right? So when you have such a large storefront, usually it's in a shopping mall, right? Because you also want the footfall.
That's correct.
Yeah. But that also you pay through your nose in terms of rental to the retail mall. So by having a food factory at the back end doing the cloud basis, you do your R&D, then your shop front can actually cut down because you also have delivery business to sustain the.
Right. So I think for a little bit of hop into this F&B. So I think personally I got involved in F&B because I personally like food. That explains my size. Okay, is that alcohol? Other than alcohol,
so I alcohol and property.
That's right. So one thing you realize is the rentals keep going up. Okay, and sometimes when we have a kitchen as well, we were at the mercy of even the chef. Because the chef, if he doesn't come, the food tastes different. People come down, they try the food, tastes different. So for us, we have been even renting food factories and where the costs are lower. Because I think the per square feet cost is maybe 1/4 or 1/5. So what happens is that we just need ops guy. He just follows instruction. Take out, defrost 5 minutes, heat up 2 minutes, put up, heat the sauce, pour the sauce, and it's ready to serve. So all this is all done at the food factories. And today, you're seeing a lot of these spaces. They just take a very, very small front, about 400-500 square feet.
Yes.
And they're actually behind the food factory, the kitchen, they have 1,000 over square feet. And the cost effectiveness is there. So a lot of people have been going down this model. So even till today, you see all the large restaurants as well. Only the last mile of cooking is really done at the restaurant.
And that's really the advantage of having a centralized or
That's right.
efficiencies.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Besides the fact that you help them cut down in terms of their operational cost.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it serves its purpose, and of course the quality becomes more consistent.
Correct.
In that sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think speaking about quality, having the developer shooting as the company behind this product also gave us certain type of confidence because they have been so well known in building, industrial building.
So far, touch wood, where's the wood? Oh, the touch wood. So far, all my investments with Chilting, City Hub, Taiko, and all, they have all made money. Yeah, so I think the developer has a track record. They know what they're building. We won't have any surprises. They go there, hey, it's not even built, not even purpose built for, and things like that. So when I saw the specs as well, I saw the way of design, in terms of the flooring, in terms of the height. Certain floors are for your 40-footer, then your 20-footer, and things like that. Let's say the planning was actually very well thought through. Yeah, so it gave me further confidence to actually put in my money as well.
So it's quite a no-brainer for you, Bruce.
No-brainer.
So how many units do you buy?
I bought 2 units. Because I learned from my mistake already. Including alcohol also, include alcohol want to drink, I buy 2. Last time I only buy 1, then when the price go up, then you want to sell, I want to drink, want to sell, I want to drink. Then in the end, how? In the end, end up breaking, right? So today we buy 2, so when the price go up, sell 1, I keep 1, right?
Right. And for Ken, what were your considerations?
I think we always wanted to look out for something that we know demand is not just constant, but that has a rising factor in the near future. I mean, it has to check a lot of boxes, even on the rental basis, whether will we get tenants that will come in and long-term tenants. I mean, food factory tenants, if they come in, right, they're most likely going to stay there for
the big capex they put in to really do what the unit thing. Yeah, so generally one thing I realized that even the experience with Emirati Food Exchange, the only time I actually had a change in tenant is during COVID, when the catering company that was previously renting on me, they couldn't make it ready. That's the only time I actually had a change in tenant. You know, every year I was just increasing it a bit along the way.
So rental is very stable. I mean, it's good to have very long-term tenants in that sense. Like I mentioned, supply is so low, especially freehold. A lot of industrial today is running at about 30 or 60 years lease. So to get a freehold tenure at a very reasonable price is another factor that I was looking into. I mean, a lot of other developments added the void spaces into the chase that you're buying into. For CT Foodnex, it's really straightforward. There was no void space added inside. You're buying based on the floor plate that you have. So, and the price was really reasonable for a freehold in that sense. So with that kind of supply and the rising demand and the stable rental, together with good financing from the banks, I think we all managed to get 80% loan on the financing portion. So down pay was only 20%. So all these factors add in, I think it was quite an obvious win for me to go into CT Foodnex.
Right. So a lot of people say, hey, interest rates today are so high. So yeah, but for us, we see, based on trending, interest rates are coming off already. So for us now, we only paid the initial upfront. Yep. And the progressive payment hasn't even started. Yes. So we haven't even drawn down the money from the bank for the bank loan. So I think this is something by the time it's really pushed forward, the interest rates will have really come down already. So I think it's really priced a good, very, very good positioning to be poised for not just capital upside, but I think future rental demand as well.
Back with what we foresee in the next 10 to 15 years of the growth in the northern area. So I think for all aspects, I think it really checked all the boxes that for our investment.
Yeah.
So it sounds almost too good to be true. The more important question I have for you, Ken, is the product still available or it's already sold out already?
Still available, but running very regularly, very constantly. The units are being sold on a regular basis, I would say. So
almost here already.
Yeah,
checkbook.
So I think we still have units left, but not many. The sales gallery is also still there. So sales gallery is very nice to allow you to be able to visualize the whole unit because they design the sales gallery like an actual unit, right? With all the fittings and stuff and the size and the loft that they built. The developer even have a virtual flight through in case you can't imagine how a food factory will look like. They even have that. And they're expecting to, I think, complete the construction in Q1 or Q2 next year, pretty fast. Almost right time to come in because you get a ready unit soon already.
Yeah. So those of them who are really considering to start a cloud kitchen, try out maybe fusion food, different type of cuisine, right? They should be thinking about this right now lah, because we are looking at about 1 year ahead before they reach TOP. Right?
Right.
So it makes every good sense to think about all these factors lah. So if any of you are interested or just thinking about starting a food business, thinking about cloud kitchen, how does it work, you can certainly find out more details, and from any of our SRI agents, we'll be more than happy to provide you with more details.
Yes, definitely. Hey Thomas, wait. So you're not gonna end it this way, right? After you heard so much from us, are you convinced enough to put your money into the food factory as well?
Well, you have to find out in the next episode, guys.